Okay, so here we are on day 2 of the lidded container. We took 2 pinch pots, put them together. I made this kind of an egg shape, and I've used a stylus to kind of form a line around it where I think I might want to open it. It's kind of important that you spend some time thinking about how you would like it to be when you open it up. Here's a small one that I made. It has 3 specific cutouts, and so when you put it on the lid, it fits uniquely a certain way, so it doesn't fit the wrong way, and when you get it right, it fits right in. Here's one where they made little teeth almost. You want to avoid lots of intricate little tiny cuts. It makes it very difficult. This one's a lot, but it still works. And then here is one that's a little more smooth. So this one is similar to that. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 areas that go down, whereas this one has 3 areas, 3 curves down. Okay, and if I don't like my design, I can just simply kind of rub this out, use a wooden tool to kind of really smooth those lines out, and I can go back over until I get what I want, but I'm happy with what I have here. And then once it's leather hard, if it's not leather hard, you want it, let it get leather hard. You can put it under the blow dryer if you need. You can set it in the sun for a few minutes, but you got to really keep your eye on it. If it gets too dry, then it's going to be a problem. I also want to add texture to it, so now is the time to add texture before I cut it open. Once I cut it open, it's going to be hard to add the texture without distorting it. So I'm going to use this paintbrush end here. It's just a little rounded piece, and I'm going to start around my lines, and I'm going to dent in, just following around the lines, but not touching the line. So once again, because there's air inside, it won't deflate a ton, or it shouldn't deflate at all, but it'll distort a little bit, but not a ton. Good. Now my marks around it. I could have also, if I wanted, to put some little handle at the top, but I don't want a handle on it. So I'm going to work underneath my opening. So these are the types of things that add a lot of character to your artwork, but they do take time and patience. Okay, so I've dented the whole thing. I was standing up to try to get it in the video. Hopefully that shows up. So the shape looks good. I'm ready to cut it open. So I have an X-Acto knife here. And so I'm going to take the X-Acto knife and I'm going to just go right along my original marks there. Once again, take your time, do a nice job with this part of it. Now if your piece isn't leather hard, it's going to be hard to cut it and have it hold its shape. So you want to make sure it's gotten leather hard before you do this. And there's different stages of leather hard. This one right here is the softer stage of leather hard. So now that's open. You can see inside of there where the slip is. I actually want to firm it up a little bit more. So I either should wait another day, or what I can do is put it under the blow dryer, which is what I think that I will do. So I'm going to pause the video and go blow dry this for a moment, and I'll come back. Okay, so we're back, and I put this under the blow dryer a couple of times. I could have set it out for some time, but I think it's ready to go on to the next step. And basically what I want to do now is I want to smooth out some of these rough spots. So take your finger and smooth out the edges. This is where a sponge comes in handy. There's my sponge right there. You want your sponge to be damp. And you can get rid of some of these rough little edges. If you need to wet your sponge, you can take it to the sink and wring it out under the water a couple of times. I'll just usually spray it like this while I'm working. All right, I'm going to set that down while I do the other piece. I don't want to put the wet rim to the wet rim or it may stick. So I'm trying not to change the shape. I'm trying not to change the rim other than just smoothing out those edges. Another thing you can do is you can get a little bit of water. I don't have a table here. I'm going to set it here on the table. Squirt some water on the table, dip your finger in the water, and then that will make it smooth enough to kind of really give that a nice soft edge to it. The sponge sometimes wipes away some of the smoother clay and leaves just the slip. So, I'm sorry, it leaves the sand, and so it's a little rougher. Also inside, I want to seal that seam up a little bit better. And I don't know if you can see that in the video, but I can see the seam pretty well. And so I'm going to work that with the tool to seal that up. But once again, I don't want to change the shape. Be very conscious of being gentle with it so you keep the shape all the same. But the better that seam is sealed, the better chance this has of staying all together. Looks pretty good there. Clay takes patience and time. Okay, so everything actually looks really nice. The inside's good, the rim's good. I'm going to check this out, see how it fits. So I have 4 pieces that go down. I'm not sure which way it goes, so I'll show you how to make a key so you can tell on yours. Okay, it goes like that. And then a key is usually a little mark that makes it easy to match up where it goes. So I think my highest spot is right here, so I'm going to make a little key right here. And so I'm going to draw a line that shows me where that goes. I could do it on the inside, the outside, I could make a mark or a notch. But I think what I'm going to do is do it right on the outside. Right here. Actually, I'll do a little dot like that and a dot like that. All right, the rim seems pretty even. I see a little spot right there that needs to be touched up, so I can touch that up now. I can see the line that I drew originally, and I don't want to be able to see that. There's my key right there. Match it up with my key mark there. Good. So make sure it's all right. Everything fits good. I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to add my initials and period number. D, C, G. If I can't read your initials or period number, it's like not having them on there. 2017 and whatever period you're in. Now what I like to do with mine is to let my pieces dry slowly, and they dry very quickly on the shelf, so I will usually put them in my locker to dry overnight, and then once this is dry, you can take and you can kind of break that off and smooth it out with your finger, even rub it on the canvas to get it nice and smooth. So I'm going to leave that like that right now. Actually, I'm going to break off the rough stuff, and I'll clean it up tomorrow. I want to let it dry with the rim in place so that it dries. If it warps together. And if it doesn't work together, but we don't want both pieces doing separate things. So there's my key right there, and that's finished.